That's not looking good, and then you played at 7. What was the key to fighting back and making that game stop?
Well, I challenge my guys to show up and compete like they've been competing on the road. You don't go on the road and win 2 basketball games if you're not a good team. And I knew we were a good, solid basketball team. Now, do they have more talent than us? Absolutely. But I knew we could compete better. That first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, we were deer in headlights. We were terrified for no reason. We turned the ball over. Now they got 19 turnovers. We turned it over 19 times, and they got 28 points off of that. And I told my team before the game, you cannot have a lot of turnovers. If you do, this team is really good in the open court. If you put them in half court, you're gonna have a chance to get in the game. When we got back in the game, we put them in half court and made them guard our stuff. Played the 2-3 zones, slowed them down. But when you keep turning the ball over, the team gets in the open court. That's really tough to defend.
You guys are kept the fouls down in the first half, free throw attempts down, but second half a little different. What was the difference there, half to half?
Well, they were attacking the rim, and we were fouling instead of being in the gap. I told my team this was going to be a off the dribble game, and you had to be in the gap of the defense. If not, they were going to put their heads down and they're going to drive. If they put them on the foul line, it's going to be a long night for us. Now, we got to 7, and I believe we missed a box out on the free throw. Then we came back down and fouled, and they went on a little run. So we got back in the basketball game. I have a solid basketball team, and I'm proud of what these guys did. You know, this schedule was a brutal schedule. It's 6 in a row on the road. Okay, this is number 5, I do believe, and now we got to go play Illinois. But at the end of the day, hopefully this gets us prepared for conference. Now they're shorthanded, and we're also shorthanded. So but it was a good basketball game, and you can see I got a pretty solid basketball team.
Up to tonight and back-to-back wins, including Tulsa 2 days ago. How did that help you tonight, or did it impact it?
I know Arkansas is a good basketball team and Cal's a good coach, but I felt if we came in here, and he'll tell you what I said for the last 2 or 3 days, you don't have a high number of turnovers, you don't put up the free throw line a lot, you will be in the basketball game. I promise you guys. And we got it down to 7. But the problem is you give them a 20-point lead. Now you got to do all that energy to get back in the game. And we're shorthanded with players. We got guys that's hurt.
Coach, I'm curious if you thought Theo number 3 for Arkansas.
Well, he has a chance to maybe play at the next level if he can become a consistent shooter. He has an NBA body already. He's athletically enough to play at the next level. I mean, they got some high level guys on this basketball team over here. And this was a good basketball game for our team.
Yeah, Mwani, right?
Yes, sir.
You played Arkansas for LSU. You played Cal when he was at Kentucky. Was it weird coming in there and playing Cal, coaching Arkansas? Or what was that like for you?
No, I would say for me, it was just another basketball game, but it definitely felt good to be back here in the SEC environment. So,
What would you think Arkansas overall?
I think they're a good team, a long, typical Coach Cal team that gets to the rim, puts pressure on the rim, on the refs to get to the free throw line, and rebounding, and just playing in transition. So they're a good team.
Did you feel good about the way you guys fought back and got back in it?
Yes, sir. I just think that had we not dug such a big hole for ourselves in the first half, it would have been a lot easier for us to compete and stay in the game.
Yeah. Darrell, what was your take on Arkansas overall?
From watching all the film of all the games that they played, I knew this was going to be an off the dribble game, and when they shoot the ball well, they can become dangerous. But they're really an off the dribble team and a transition team right now. I'm sure Cal is still trying to figure things out. This is early in the season, just like I'm trying to figure things out with my basketball team. He got some key guys hurt. I got some key guys hurt. I mean, I would love to come into this building if KK Robinson was healthy. And just see what he could do against these guys. But, I came in shorthanded and no excuses. You got to play the game. Nobody feels sorry for anybody. Hell, Cal got some guys out too. He's bitching about that himself. So at the end of the day, I thought it was an entertaining basketball game. I thought these guys competed and played hard, and I challenged them to compete in the second half, and they came out and got it and cut it down to 7 and made it a very interesting basketball game.
Obviously, I know you've coached here before, but obviously you had your playing career as well. Just what was it like for you to come back here and coach here again?
Well, it's always, unfortunately, I always come in here. I'm never healthy. Every time I come in here, I'm usually not healthy. But it's always special to be back in Fayetteville. I grew up here, met my wife here, so this has always been a special place. The people in the state have always been unbelievably great to me ever since I've been here. They see me grow up from a young wild kid to where I am now, and it's always special to come back here.
What do you think about Boogie Fland and his potential?
Well, if he can shoot the ball consistently and be a consistent shooter, his upside is really tremendous. He's getting a chance to play a lot of minutes. He's also getting a chance as a young player, and this is big. He's getting a chance to play through mistakes and stay in the game. And that's when you get more confident as a basketball player, when you can play through mistakes. And he's playing through mistakes right now. But he's a good basketball player. Make no mistake about that.
Defense, especially early on, a lot of like switching everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's something they haven't done all season. Did that play a part maybe in sloppy start a little?
Well, I knew they were going to switch, and Mwani will tell you, I teach my guys how to attack the switching. Let's just be honest. I thought my guys were a little nervous in the first 7-8 minutes of the game. That showed by how many turnovers we had in the basketball game. But I knew if we settled down and we ran our offense, watching film, I knew we could score some points. And look at my team, we got 43 in the second half. The problem was we were down 20-something at the time. We're capable of scoring the basketball, but good basketball game, just couldn't get it done.
The DJ Wagner, he didn't score a couple games ago, but he had did a lot of other stuff. And then I think he scored 14 last game, and he had 11 tonight. What's your take on DJ Wagner?
I think DJ to me is still a borderline freshman, Bob. I think he's still a borderline freshman. I don't know how many minutes he played at Kentucky, but this is still a learning process for him in a different environment. I think he has a really good chance to be a good basketball player, but he's going to have to really improve his shooting. That's the key for him. He has athleticism and all that because he improve his shooting.
Yeah, Arkansas has kind of let some teams back into the game in the second half. Lipscomb cut the lead to 4, Pacific cut it to 2. Obviously, you guys got it down to 7 in the second half. Is that something you kind of noticed in the scouting, and just kind of how did you guys kind of approach that second half?
It's always a game of runs. They made theirs in the first half, and I challenged my team in the second half to go out there and compete and don't be scared of anybody and to embrace the environment. I love the environment. I wish I could go back and play in my days. I thought the environment was unbelievable environment tonight, man. I told those guys to go out and enjoy the environment, and they just, when we settled down and took care of the ball for a good stretch, we cut it to 7 and we're right back in the basketball game.
Darrell, you mentioned the road game in Illinois. Do you get anybody back? Or is this what you got to finish out the 6-game road swing?
You got some holy water for KK to come back? You got that? No, we only Jordan Jefferson's back is messed up. Creed is going to be out, and KK's gone. I had to play the young kid Caleb. I had to put him in there and play. He's not afraid, but this is a big environment for him. He was a little nervous, but I think it's going to be a learning experience for him.
You did get some help off your bench, especially in that first half, to not let it get any further.
Yeah, well, we were shook the first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game, and I told my assistant coach Bake, I said, my guys are a little nervous right now. We got to settle down before it gets out of hand. But we had our chances. We're going to be a solid team in the OVC even if we can get healthy. I mean, I can't keep playing these guys 37, 35 minutes. That's going to catch up. Early in the year, you'll be fine the first 10, 12, 15 games. When you get deeper, we need some subs.